Foogiano, released from prison, served 4 years. The last artist left from the 1017. Everybody's either dead or in jail, literally, or released. He was one of the 2 artists that Gucci decided to keep. Pooh Shiesty and Foogiano, of course. He's been released. The internet's going crazy.
Fugio just stepped out after 5 long years in federal prison, and the first move he made? He sent a message straight to Gucci that felt icy and direct. This was not no quiet hint, no sneaky post online trying to be mysterious. This was a bold message, planned out and delivered at the perfect moment. Because Fugio did not come back to peace and quiet. He walked right into chaos. The label is falling apart and everything is heating up fast. His CEO is allegedly dealing with a wild situation, reports saying he got robbed and even held at gunpoint by his own artist, Pooh Chitty. Now there are serious federal kidnapping charges being talked about, and the streets are buzzing about a diss track called Crash Dummy that got people picking sides. And right in the middle of all this madness, Gucci's last loyal soldier just came home after years of silence, sitting back and watching everything unfold. This timing feels way too perfect to ignore. Fugio has been locked in, watching his idol, the same man he looked up to, the same one who gave him that first big chance, turn into one of the most talked about and controversial names in hip-hop today. The second those prison doors opened, Fugio walked straight into a situation way bigger than music. This is not just rap drama, this runs deeper than that. So here is the full breakdown, step by step. Because to really understand what that message meant, you need to see exactly what he came back to. And once the whole picture is clear, that message hits completely different. For anyone who is not familiar, Foogiano, whose real name is Kwame Khalil Brown, was born July 4th, 1993, out of Greensboro, Georgia. And Greensboro is not Atlanta, not Memphis, not no big spotlight city. This is a small town where everybody knows each other, where news spreads fast, and where choices feel limited. Out there, people usually see 3 paths: music, sports, or getting caught up in trouble. He ended up brushing close to all 3 in different ways. Around the age of 12, everything in his life shifted heavy. His uncle came home from prison and revealed something that changed how he saw his whole family. The man he believed was his father turned out to be his stepfather.
Y'all, listen, I wanted to make this announcement on 1017 yesterday, but I just seen like my statement, my P&L with all my artists. You know, it's almost like a whole bunch of shakeup and it's a whole shit show in the industry right now, but when I look at my P&L and me being a businessman, I think that I'm gonna have to release almost all my artists, except for Pooh Shiesty and Foogiano.
From that point on, he said he started spending more time in the streets. And in a small town like that, once you go down that road young, trouble tends to find you fast. In 2013, he got hit with burglary and robbery charges. And by 2014, he was sentenced, serving 3 years straight. That was his first real time locked up. But here is what stands out about Fugio. He never let that slow him down or kill his drive. The moment he got back out, he locked in on music, and the talent was impossible to ignore. His track Molly Baby Mama started gaining real traction around 2020, and this was not some industry setup or forced hype. This was raw, organic buzz, straight from the streets connecting with real listeners. Then DaBaby hopped on the remix, and that is when everything shifted. The industry started watching closely, and one person in particular was paying serious attention: Gucci Mane. Gucci, known for building some of the biggest street talent in the game, saw the potential early. He signed Fugio to 1017 Records in 2020 and gave him a real platform to shine. By November 2020, Fugio dropped his debut project, Gutta Baby, and it came out swinging, landing at #1 on Billboard's Heatseekers albums chart right away. First project and already at the top, everything was moving fast like a rocket. But then things took a sharp turn. December 2020 came.
This is a decision I didn't want to make. I thought about it, you know what I'm saying? I could keep all of them under the contract. But I said, hey, fuck it. Let's just make the unselfish decision and, let them take their talents elsewhere, so.
And Fugio was arrested in Georgia on a firearm possession charge tied to his prior record. Just like that, the momentum faced a serious setback. Remember those 2013 charges that made having a firearm a serious federal violation for him? So when the judge set bail at $50,000, there were strict rules attached. First, he had to wear an ankle monitor. Second, he had to stay inside the state of Georgia. Most people would hear that and play it smart, stay low, follow the rules, and let the situation play out the right way. That would have been the safe move, the logical move. But Foogiano went a completely different direction. He basically said he was not going to follow those rules. Reports say he destroyed the ankle monitor, not just cutting it off, but burning it off completely, which made the situation even more serious. After that, he left Georgia and avoided authorities for months. And here is the part that really stands out. During that time, he was still out there performing, still booking shows, still moving around publicly under his own name. Every night on stage, he would even ask the crowd questions, almost like he was testing how far things could go while everything was unfolding behind the scenes. He would even ask the crowd, "If the police come in here, are y'all going to let them get me?" And people would go wild yelling, "No." That kind of energy had him moving with heavy confidence, like he could outplay the system. He treated it like a strategy game, but this was not something you can outmaneuver that easily. By March 2021, federal agents tracked him down in Memphis, Tennessee, after about 3 months on the run. That run came to a hard stop, and by May 2021, the outcome was set in motion. He was sentenced to 5 years in federal prison. That time came from the firearm charge, plus everything tied to removing the ankle monitor and leaving the state. The reaction came fast. His girlfriend at the time, Rennie Rucci, posted on Instagram saying, "You know what it is with me, I got us #FreeFool," showing public support right away.
Rapper Big Scar has died. This is what was posted by rapper Gucci Mane on his Instagram page. It shows a picture of Big Scar along with the caption that reads, "This hurts. I'm going to miss you." We are hearing the rapper died today. He was signed to Gucci Mane's label.
Meek Mill also spoke up, saying they were trying to destroy his career over a situation he saw differently. Gucci Mane even said he was stepping in to make sure Foogiano had strong legal support. Then just like that, everything went quiet. The doors closed in 2021, and Foogiano disappeared from the spotlight for 5 full years. No voice, no updates, just silence building up behind the scenes. But while he was locked away, everything outside kept moving fast. And what it turned into might be one of the wildest chapters in 1017 history. To really get it, you have to see how much that roster changed while Foogiano was gone. When he first went in, 1017 was on fire, one of the hottest labels in rap at the time. Pooh Shiesty had dropped Back in Blood and was blowing up everywhere, becoming one of the biggest new names in the country.
Rapper Pooh Shiesty is facing prison time after pleading guilty to a gun charge in Miami federal court. The case against Lon Williams Jr. stems from 3 shootings during the past 2 years, 2 of them happening right here in South Florida.
Big Scar was being lined up as the next major force, that hidden weapon Gucci kept hinting at. And Channing was building her own momentum too, and the whole movement felt unstoppable. Then everything started falling apart, one situation after another. Pooh Shiesty faced legal trouble in October 2021 and later received a 5-year sentence, shifting the whole energy around the label. Then in December 2022, Big Scar passed away at just 23 years old, shocking fans and the industry alike. It did not stop there. Enchanting passed away in June 2024, adding another heavy loss to the roster. What once looked like a rising dynasty started to feel like a series of setbacks and heartbreaks. Hip-hop has seen tough moments before, but this stretch hit different and changed the entire direction of 1017. By October 2024, Gucci Mane went live on Instagram and made a major business move that caught everyone off guard. He said he reviewed his profits and losses and came to a tough decision about the future of 1017. According to him, he was letting go of almost every artist on the roster except for 2, Pooh Shiesty, who was finishing his sentence, and Foogiano, who was still locked up at the time. He even said it clearly on live.
So we're talking about Foogiano, the Atlanta-based rapper whose real name is Kwame Brown, is represented by Gucci Mane. Take a look. This is a booking photo just in. U.S. Marshals now say they tracked down the 27-year-old in Memphis last week.
I'm gonna have to release almost all of my artists except Shiesty and Foogiano. This is a decision I didn't want to make. I thought about it. I could keep all of them under contract, but I said, Let's just make the unselfish decision and let them take their talents elsewhere. That statement sounded polished, like a calculated business move on the surface. At first, it came across like Gucci was just handling business, making clean cuts and moving forward. But here is where it takes a sharp turn. The only two artists he decided to keep, the ones he believed were still worth investing in, were both incarcerated when he made that call. And then everything shifted again. Within months of one of them getting released, the situation around the label started heating up in a way nobody saw coming, turning quiet decisions into loud consequences. January 10th, 2026, Luminous Studios, far north Dallas, Texas. Gucci Mane walked in thinking it was just another business meeting.
They tell us they had been trying to find him for 3 months after he apparently melted off his court-ordered ankle monitor, and they tried to track him down there. At last check, Brown is now being held in a jail in Memphis. We've also learned he's part of an ongoing wrongful death lawsuit stemming from a fatal shooting that happened at a nightclub in South Carolina.
There had already been tension building behind the scenes, back and forth talks about contract issues, an artist wanting out of 1017. Things had been heating up quietly for a while. According to prosecutors, the situation was already set in motion before anyone even stepped into that studio. It is alleged that an associate, Trell Williams Sr., went to a Staples earlier that day to print out contract release paperwork, documents meant to officially separate an artist from the label. The meeting was presented as a way to settle everything calmly, face to face, like professionals handling business. But what allegedly happened inside was far from a normal meeting. Federal claims describe a situation involving multiple individuals, where tensions escalated fast and turned serious. Reports say that once everyone was inside, one person allegedly pulled out an AK-style firearm and used it to threaten someone, demanding signatures on those release papers. Another individual, identified as Big 30, whose real name is Rodney Wright Jr., allegedly positioned himself to block the exit, making it difficult for anyone to leave during the situation. There are also claims that one person was physically harmed during the incident, to the point where it became extremely dangerous. This was no longer about contracts or negotiations. What was supposed to be business turned into a situation now being examined at the federal level, with serious accusations that changed everything overnight.
The complaint alleges that on January 10th of this year, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting. Trell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting purportedly to discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims.
Reports also claim that valuables like Rolex watches, jewelry, and cash were taken during the incident while people were being threatened. The Department of Justice described it as a coordinated armed takeover, not just a random situation. Investigators say they built the case using multiple forms of evidence, including surveillance footage, license plate tracking, fingerprint analysis, and cell phone data, all allegedly tying the suspects to what happened inside that studio. And one detail really stood out in the case. Foogiano was reportedly supposed to be on house arrest at the time. According to monitoring data, he was not at his approved location. Authorities claim he traveled from Memphis to Dallas, was involved in the situation being investigated, and then returned, which raised major concerns for prosecutors. The federal response came quickly. Pooh Shiesty, Big 30, Shiesty's father, and several others were all hit with federal kidnapping charges, a serious accusation that can carry a potential life sentence if proven in court. And that is not even the wildest part of this whole situation. In early April 2026, during Pooh's bond hearing in a Dallas federal court, FBI Special Agent Pamela Hansen took the stand and gave testimony under oath that changed everything. She stated that Gucci Mane gave an official statement to the Dallas Police Department the same night, January 10th, 2026, right after everything went down. According to her, a large portion of the criminal complaint was built off information provided by Gucci and people close to him. In simple terms, he cooperated with the investigation, and that detail sent shockwaves through the courtroom. Shiesty was right there when this was revealed. Journalist Bryson Paul reported that he leaned his head back against the wall, shaking his leg and reacting in disbelief as the testimony continued. You could feel the tension shift in that moment.
As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover.
As everything unfolded, the judge made the decision to deny bond. Just like that, Shiesty remained in custody, and the situation only got heavier from there as more details started coming to light. Then on April 10th, 2026, Gucci Mane dropped a track called Crash Dummy, produced by Zaytoven, and it instantly had people talking. The song was clearly directed at Pooh Shiesty and Big 30, even though he never said their names outright. The message in the lyrics was loud and impossible to miss. He rapped about walking into what he believed was a normal business meeting, only to feel like he was set up from the start. He described being greeted with handshakes and smiles from people he now believed had different intentions behind the scenes. The tone of the track made it clear he felt betrayed in a serious way. At one point, he called Shiesty a crash dummy and reminded listeners that, despite everything going on, there were still business ties connected to the label. He made it known that he built 1017 from the ground up and was not about to let anyone tear it down that easily. Then came the line that really stuck with people. He ended the track repeating, "I done been betrayed, now my heart turned cold," over and over, and that moment spread fast across the internet. The reaction was immediate and divided. Some people respected him for speaking out through music, while others questioned the situation heavily. Figures like Uncle Murda even spoke publicly, saying what many were already thinking and adding more tension to an already heated situation. Uncle Murda did not hold back at all. He said, "Gucci can't sound like a civilian after being a gangster for over 20 years. And that line alone had people arguing everywhere. He went on to talk about how much influence Gucci has had, saying he helped shape a whole wave of people who followed that lifestyle, only for things to now take a completely different turn. According to him, it did not sit right seeing someone switch lanes like that and then drop a diss track on top of it. Then Charlemagne the God stepped in with a more balanced take. He pointed out that the allegations are still unproven and said there is a bigger pattern in how these situations play out in the industry. He explained that when someone's life is on the line, decisions get complicated fast, and sometimes people choose survival over any so-called code. Still, he made it clear that the situation is layered and not easy to judge from the outside.
As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items. One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness.
Meanwhile, the internet was going wild. Comment sections were flooded, debates everywhere, and everybody had an opinion. Then April 21st, 2026 hit, and everything shifted again. Foogiano was finally home. That same day, 1017 producer Spiff O made it official, posting a selfie with him and writing, "No more free Foo," while Fugio's personal photographer also confirmed it. Just like that, after years of silence, he was back in the middle of all the chaos. It was confirmed on his own story too, "Stay free, welcome home Foo," and that moment spread fast across every platform. The photo that really took over, shared by No Jumper and reposted everywhere, showed Fugio smiling wide, flashing those signature grills like nothing ever changed. Those same grills have a story on their own. During a BBC documentary filmed while he was locked up, he revealed they were a permanent set worth around $100,000, and he kept them in the entire time, even while sitting in county jail back in Greensboro. He even mentioned that being locked up there felt familiar because those were people he grew up around, which added another layer to that image. That smile with those grills was more than just a picture. It felt like a message. Fugio did not come home looking defeated or shaken. He came back looking exactly like himself, confident and unfazed by everything that happened. But while people were celebrating, the internet instantly started connecting the dots, because look at the situation he stepped into. His label's CEO is dealing with serious allegations tied to a robbery and kidnapping situation involving someone from the same circle. Another major artist connected to the label is now in federal custody facing extremely serious charges. At the same time, Gucci just dropped a diss track calling people crash dummies, and online debates are exploding with people questioning everything, including his role in the situation. The energy is tense, divided, and moving fast in every direction. 1017 Records is in a real crisis right now, no way around it. And Foogiano, he is standing in a position nobody expected. He is the last 1017 artist still out, the only one connected to the roster who is free, alive, and not facing charges at this moment. People in the comments caught on to that immediately. One person wrote, "Rob 2 on the way." Another said, "Let's see how this plays out." And someone else added, "Out of everybody in 1017, he might be the one who comes out on top." Those reactions show just how intense the energy is around this situation. Then there was one comment that really stuck with people. "Free Foo from 1017 before he sent his cartel friends to come get you." That kind of talk shows how wild the speculation is getting online, even if it is just people talking. But here is where things take a deeper turn. Foogiano did not come home and drop a diss track. He did not post a long message or go live to explain anything. His message was something else entirely. It was the timing. It was the silence. 5 years in federal prison, watching everything unfold without saying a word publicly, and then suddenly reappearing on April 21st, 2026. That date hits different when you line it up. Just 12 days after Gucci dropped Crash Dummy, and 11 days after testimony revealed key details in court about the investigation. No direct words, no clear statement, just presence at the exact moment everything is at its peak. And sometimes, that kind of move speaks louder than anything else. The message feels clear without even being said out loud. It is like he is saying, "I'm here, I saw everything, and I am still standing." That alone carries weight, but people are not fully realizing how deep this situation really goes. Think about it from Foogiano's perspective for a second. This is someone who once destroyed his ankle monitor instead of following restrictions. Someone who kept performing while avoiding authorities and even asked crowds, "If the police come in here, are y'all going to let them get me?" That kind of mindset does not just disappear overnight. And when he was interviewed in jail by journalist Louis Theroux for a BBC documentary, he looked straight at the camera and said, "I don't listen to nothing none of y'all say. I do what I want to do. Why y'all lie to me? You don't get to pick my life for me. Now I'm going to pick my own life." Those words hit different when you look at everything happening now. That is not someone who bends easily under pressure. That is not someone who comes home quietly trying to smooth things over behind closed doors.
Defendant Wright barricaded the studio door with his body to prevent the victims from escaping.
5 years locked in a federal cell builds a certain kind of focus, a certain kind of energy. And now that energy has somewhere to go. It is aimed straight at the situation surrounding Gucci Mane and everything tied to 1017. To really understand what could happen next, you have to look at the bigger picture and the tension building underneath all of this. Foogiano grew up looking up to Gucci Mane, no question about it. In interviews, he has said Gucci was one of his favorite rappers, right alongside T.Y. and Lil Wayne. Gucci was a big reason he even stepped into music, and more importantly, he was the one who gave him that life-changing opportunity. That kind of connection runs deep, built on respect and loyalty. But at the same time, Foogiano just spent 5 years locked away while watching everything around that situation fall apart piece by piece. He saw the highs fade and the losses stack up. Artists connected to the label faced serious legal trouble. Others passed away, and the roster slowly broke down. The momentum that once made 1017 feel unstoppable started to disappear. Then it got even more complicated. There are now major allegations, public tension, and a diss track aimed at people within that same circle. The environment around the label is no longer stable. It is unpredictable and full of pressure from every angle. And now it all comes back to one point. Gucci is left with one artist still standing in this moment, and that is Foogiano. He just walked back into a situation that, by any standard, is in serious trouble. The part that really stands out is not anger or loud statements. It is the question his return creates without him even saying a word. What does Foogiano do next? Does he stay loyal and stand beside Gucci through all this chaos? Or does he move differently now that he has seen everything unfold from a distance?
The charging document outlines some of the evidence, just some, establishing the defendant's roles in the federal offense. This is as follows. electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location, which would put him in violation of his home detention conditions.
So what move does he make now? Does he stay with 1017 and become the face of a label that the streets are side-eyeing heavy right now? Or does he take a different path and move more carefully, learning from everything that has already played out without stepping into more legal trouble? Or maybe he separates completely, builds his own lane, and uses those 5 years to come back stronger on his own terms. Because that photo, that smile, those grills, that energy, it does not look like someone ready to just fall in line quietly. It looks like someone who has been thinking every single day for 1,825 days straight and came home with a plan already mapped out. And people picked up on that instantly. That is why the comments were going crazy. Fans are not just seeing a rapper returning. They are seeing a wild card entering a situation that has already lost key pieces. That changes the whole game. Now zoom out for a second, because this is bigger than just Foogiano and Gucci Mane. What is happening here reflects something deeper about how the rap industry moves, especially when it comes to building fast success and dealing with pressure, loyalty, and consequences all at once. When Gucci Mane rebuilt 1017, he followed the same formula that made him successful in the first place. He found raw talent straight from the streets, gave them a platform, and backed them with his name and resources. And for a moment, it really worked. Pooh Shiesti's numbers were huge. Foogiano had serious momentum, and Big Scar was rising fast. The label felt like it was taking over. But there was another side to it. Gucci's entire brand has always been tied to street credibility. The 1017 image, the trap music identity, all of it is built on that energy and lifestyle. When you build something on that foundation and bring in artists who come from that environment, it also brings real-life pressure and risks along with it. That is where the conversation gets uncomfortable. Uncle Murda said it in a direct way, and a lot of people understood his point. For years, the image and message around that lifestyle influenced a lot of people, shaping how they moved and what they valued. That influence is real, and it reaches far beyond music. Now the situation has shifted. When serious consequences showed up in real life, everything became more complicated. According to testimony, Gucci Mane gave a statement to Dallas authorities the same night the incident happened, which added another layer to an already intense situation and sparked even more debate across the culture. That is not even meant as a criticism. Gucci Mane has a family, responsibilities, and a business to protect. And anyone in that position has the right to involve law enforcement if they feel threatened. That is a real and valid perspective. Charlemagne made that point clear, and a lot of people understand it. But the streets do not always separate the image from the reality. When someone has built their name on a certain reputation for decades, any shift hits people hard. That contrast creates tension. And that is exactly why this situation feels so intense right now. And this is where Foogiano becomes the most interesting figure in everything going on. He is the only person connected to this situation who has not made a defining move yet. Everyone else has already taken a clear position in one way or another. Pooh Shiesti is facing serious federal accusations. Gucci Mane made his move by speaking to authorities and releasing a diss track. Big 30 is also tied into the situation through allegations. Uncle Murda spoke out publicly and made his stance clear. One by one, every major voice around 1017 has shown their hand. But Foogiano just stepped back in, and his next move is still unknown. His cards are still face down, and that puts him in a powerful position right now. In a moment where everybody else has already acted, the person who waits can sometimes control how the next chapter plays out. He is someone with real credibility behind his name. 5 years in federal prison, no cooperation, no accusations tied to that, just time served and pressure handled. On top of that, he already had real momentum in music before he went in. People were paying attention and waiting to see what he would do next. Now add this layer. He is still technically signed to 1017, a label that is currently surrounded by controversy and chaos in the spotlight. And based on everything known about how he moves, he is not the type to make quiet or small decisions. So the real message is deeper than just "I'm back." It feels more like, I saw everything, I understand everything, and I have options now. That is what makes this moment so intense. So what happens next? There are a few directions this could go, and each one changes the story completely. First path, he stays loyal. He sticks with Gucci, remains on 1017, and becomes the last one holding it down while the label tries to rebuild. That is the loyalty route, and it carries weight. Gucci gave him an opportunity when others did not, and that kind of history matters. If Foogiano comes back focused, drops strong music, and helps rebuild the label's image step by step, that is a serious power move for both sides. It turns chaos into a comeback story, and people would definitely be watching every move closely. That could mark a fresh start, a whole new era, and Foogiano would be right at the front of it. He would be the face of the rebuild, carrying that credibility of doing 5 years and coming back without folding under pressure. That kind of story hits different and people respect it. But there is another path. He could separate from 1017 completely and move on his own terms. After everything he has seen, the legal issues, the losses, the controversy, he might decide that the label comes with too much weight right now. That brand could feel heavy to carry in this moment. Going independent would let him reset everything, drop music under his own name, build his own direction, and let the talent speak without being tied to everything happening around 1017. That is a clean break, and it could open new doors if he plays it right. Then there is the third option, the one people are watching the closest. Foogiano speaks out publicly. Not just a small comment, but a real statement about Gucci, about the situation, and about everything he watched while he was locked away for 5 years. Maybe it comes through an interview, maybe through music, or even something bigger like a documentary, because he has never been someone to stay quiet forever, and the perspective he built during that time is deep. If he decides to lay it all out honestly from his point of view, that kind of story would grab the culture's attention in a serious way. Here is the real truth, no exaggeration. The most chilling part of Foogiano's message to Gucci Mane is that it is not even fully delivered yet. What people are seeing right now, the photo, the timing, that confident smile, that is just the beginning. That is only the opening move. The full message is still unfolding, and nobody knows exactly where it is going. Not Gucci, not the streets, not even the internet that is watching every second of this play out. That uncertainty is what makes it hit even harder. What is clear, though, is the type of person Foogiano has shown himself to be. This is someone who once refused to be controlled, someone who made extreme decisions rather than follow restrictions placed on him. That mindset does not just disappear overnight. He is not the type to come home and simply accept whatever situation is waiting for him. He is not someone who moves quietly when things get complicated. That history speaks loud on its own. And then you add the time. 5 years is a long stretch, especially in a federal prison, with nothing but time to think and watch everything unfold from a distance. Watching the label shift, watching controversy build, watching the person who inspired you become the center of debate across the culture. That kind of time builds pressure, perspective, and intention. And whatever comes next is coming from all of that built-up energy. And that is where everything reaches a turning point. Because this next move is not just about Foogiano, it is about what direction the entire situation is about to take. Every eye is locked in, waiting to see what he does next, because whatever he chooses is going to shift the energy again. Think about it. The streets are watching.
Cell phone records and license plate reader data corroborating the coordinated travel of multiple defendants from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas. Rental car records.
The industry is watching, and even people outside of hip-hop are paying attention now. This is bigger than music at this point. One decision could rebuild something or break it completely. If he drops music first, that sets a tone. If he speaks out, that sets a different tone. And if he stays silent a little longer, that might say even more than words ever could. That silence can build anticipation or raise questions depending on how he plays it. At the same time, the pressure is real. Every move is going to be analyzed, every word picked apart, every action turned into headlines. That is the position he is in right now, whether he asked for it or not. So now it all comes down to timing and control, because the next step is not just a response, it is a statement. And once that statement is made, there is no taking it back. The story moves forward from there, and everybody is going to feel the impact of it. And here is the part people are not saying out loud yet. Whatever Foogiano decides to do next is going to define not just his career, but how this entire situation is remembered moving forward. This is one of those moments where a single move can echo for years. If he aligns himself fully with Gucci, he is stepping into a rebuilding phase that comes with pressure, expectations, and constant scrutiny. Every song, every appearance, every move will be tied back to everything that has already happened. That path is not easy, but it could reshape the narrative if handled right. If he goes his own way, that sends a completely different message. It shows independence, control, and a willingness to separate from the chaos. But that also means standing alone and proving he can carry everything without that 1017 backing behind him. And if he decides to speak out, really speak on everything, that could shake things up the most. Because people are already invested, and hearing it directly from someone who lived through it would hit on another level entirely. Right now, he is standing at a crossroads with multiple paths in front of him. No matter which one he takes, it is going to come with consequences, reactions, and attention from every direction. And that next move is getting closer by the second. And this is where the tension really peaks. Because no matter which direction Foogiano takes, somebody is going to feel it. There is no neutral move left on the board. Everything now is pressure, perception, and power all colliding at once. If he stays quiet too long, people start questioning what he is thinking. If he moves too fast, people say it is emotional. Every option comes with its own risks, and that is what makes this moment so intense to watch. At the same time, the streets are already forming opinions, picking sides, and trying to predict his next step before he even makes it. That kind of spotlight can push situations in directions nobody originally planned. And do not forget, this is someone who has already shown he moves on his own timing. He is not known for following expectations or playing things safe. That unpredictability is what makes this even more serious. So right now, everything is building. The silence, the speculation, the history, all of it is stacking up into one moment that feels like it could break at any time. And when it does, it is not going to be small. It is going to hit loud, and everybody watching is going to have something to say about it. Pressure, clarity, purpose, all of it built up and had nowhere to go until April 21st, 2026. That is when everything shifted. Foogiano is home, the last one standing from 1017, walking back into a situation full of tension and questions. And then there is Gucci Mane, the man who gave him that first real shot, the one his career is tied to, now right in the middle of serious legal controversy. And without saying much, Foogiano's presence alone sends a message. It is quiet, but it is heavy. It lets everybody know he has been watching everything unfold. People say, real recognize real. And right now, the entire culture is watching closely to see how this plays out. Who stands where, who moves how, and what comes next is what everybody is waiting on. So speak on it. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is Foogiano staying loyal and riding this out, or is he about to take a different path? And what does this mean for 1017 moving forward? If this video hit you, make sure you like, subscribe, share it, and tap in again, because this situation is still unfolding and it is far from over.